let's address some things. We just got news about an hour ago that is still very fresh and very shocking, and I'm left confused, anxious, sad, mad, happy, excited. I feel like almost every emotion right now. And it's weird because normally you're like either happy or you're not, or you're somewhere in between. I'm like all over the place. Like every minute it's a different feeling. And no, it has nothing to do with mental health. We were just given some pretty crazy news. And it's not that crazy because we felt like it was a possibility all along. And we're going to talk about it more once we leave this yard. I don't feel comfortable talking outside. So it's just crazy. We can address the fact that I'm wearing these glasses again because the scratch on my lens from when my glasses hit the bottom of the falls, I couldn't see through it right. And when I was grocery shopping, the light, it would make like this weird glare and it was making me really dizzy. And then also when I was watching movies or like using my phone. So I switched back to these. Even though they're cracked here, they're still in better shape than having a scratch right down the middle. But yeah, in a few seconds, Shawna's just using the bathroom and then we're leaving. We got to go pick up Courtney and we have other things to do. I will explain more about what's going on and what's going to be going on. What's crazy about this is you guys are seeing this way after the fact, and I feel like it would have been nice to have all the supportive comments that I know that we're going to get afterwards, because you guys are just amazing, and a lot of you guys have become really, really close friends with me, and you know, you're great people. But I want to honor this break and not go back to social media until the 10th of next month, and I think things are going to happen before the 10th. Courtney's moving out and we are too. We'll talk about it more in a second. So, this is what happened. Shawna went next door to talk to the landlord about how long we could live there because we didn't want to buy wood for the winter if we weren't staying for the full winter. And it didn't go as we thought it was going to go, and he said that we need to be out by November. I'm not going to go into the details about like why and whatever. It's nothing we did. They just want to renovate it and whatever. But it sucks because now we're left with less than 3 months to try to figure out what we need to do. But even less than that, because we don't want to buy wood, because then we would have to move whatever we don't use. And so we don't want to be there when it gets cold. And it's going to get cold in October. It's probably going to get cold at the end of September. We don't know. We've never lived here before during that time. So we're forced with trying to find a place and then dealing with all that, and it's just a lot of stress, and it feels like we just moved, and obviously we're upset, but it's also a good thing, which is what I was talking about with the whole emotions going from happy to sad and like being all confused on how I feel, because next time we have a landlord and they say that there's going to be a lease to sign, we're signing the lease before we start moving our stuff in. That happened to us this time, and then we were told, oh, you don't need the lease. You need the lease. You always need the lease. Let that be a lesson. We've definitely learned so much from this, and it wasn't all bad. Like, there was a lot of good stuff that came from living where we're living right now, and we love it, and we loved it, and it was a really good place to live. But there's also a lot of bad things that we want to avoid next time. And I said, and it was kind of funny, that we would never rent again because we were going to try to buy a house. But Shawna needs to build her credit, and we don't have enough time to do that in 3 months. So we're going to have to rent again. But hopefully whatever we get this time will be the last time, and then that'll be the end of the renting chapter of our lives. I really hope that the next place works out good, that there's a lease, and that everything's taken seriously in a responsible way, if that even makes any sense. When people say things, I hope they honor what they say and stick to the plan and, you know, all that stuff. And I'll talk about this more when I'm not like Right now I feel like my brain, half of it is like gone somewhere, like it's just not working properly. I'm in total shock. It's like when you find out some really, really bad news. Well, it's not like, it is. We just found out some really, really bad news, and we're dealing with it. But I know that we can get through this. We got here. We left where I'm from, and we got here, so I believe we can get to the next spot that we're supposed to be in life. I hope. Otherwise, we're gonna live in this car. It's not a bad car to live in, though, right?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I'm just stressed. To do all this and work, it's just too much.
Yeah. But,
the good thing is, though, I have people who understand at work. So if there's time that needs to be taken off, if there's time that needs to be made up for time taken off, like, I always have
which is good, but also sucks because if she takes time off, then we have no money and it's a mess. But I'm just hoping this is the last time, and I hope that this new adventure that we go on, we have no clue where we're living when we're moving. We could be moving like after this weekend. We could be moving next week. That's how crazy it is. It could be next week, it could be in 3 weeks, it could be in 3 months. It has to be within 3 months. And it's too soon. I have too much anxiety for this. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna deal with it, and when we put it behind us, it's gonna be one of those things that we fought through together. And we'll look at it and we'll be like, well, that wasn't so bad, and we'll be on to the next hard thing. Because that's how life is. You go through peaks and valleys, and there was so much good from living where we were living, and there was also some bad, but more good than bad, and we just got to take that with us and take the bad as lessons, learn from them, and do better. Not that we did anything wrong, I just mean with like trusting people and not being so quick to just take whatever comes at us first, because that's what we did in this situation. But I also feel like no matter what, we would have been stuck where we ended up anyway, because there was nothing else available, because it was so close to Christmas. Most places aren't like starting new leases or whatever in the winter. Usually it's like in the spring or the fall, or not, you know, when it's snowing or not at all. But I don't know. We'll talk more about it. Right now we're actually going to look at a place. We don't have the number, so we emailed them, but we're just gonna go look to see what the yard looks like and everything else. I'll record it, but I probably won't add it into this vlog just in case it doesn't work out. I don't want to vlog a random house that we're not gonna live at. I actually did that with the last house that we were supposed to buy, and I just didn't add it into the vlog. That didn't work out because 3 days after we found it, it was sold. And Shawna needs to work on her credit probably for about a year before she can get her mortgage, so it wouldn't have worked out anyway. So we're stuck renting for at least a year, and then after that we'll see what happens. I just hope that we find a place that's good for us and the dogs, and that we feel more secure and happy. And I need to take a shower. I didn't shower yesterday. I'm still in shock. Absolute shock. I didn't think things were gonna go this way. I thought he wasn't gonna have any issues letting us stay here until June, and with letting us stay here till June, it would give Shawna enough time to build her credit and hopefully get a mortgage, and then we were gonna move into our own home and never have to worry about renting again. And now we do. And not only do we have to worry about renting, we have to worry about actually finding a place that we're able to go to with our 2 dogs and our cat. And I'm really sad for them, because when you look, there's so much open space. They have so much more space here. When we lived at our old house, all they had was a little kitchen, because they couldn't go in the living room because they bark at everybody. And even with them not going in the living room, they were still unhappy, and you know, they didn't have a good quality of life, and we wanted to do better for them, and we did by coming here. And I've never seen Malachi more happy. He's such a different dog. Yeah, sometimes he still barks in the window at birds and whatever, but he used to bark from 6 o'clock in the morning until he went to bed, unless we were playing with him, because he just hated everything and everyone outside of the house. He doesn't do that here. And we're worried that we can't provide him with another place like this. And some people might say, well, that's stupid because it's just a dog, but it's not just a dog. And it also affects us, because if he's barking all the time, that's going to put us in a bad mood. And his quality of life would be crap. And Zeke's life would be crap. And it's so hard finding a place, like an actual house that isn't a duplex, because we wouldn't want to bother anybody who's living next to us. We can't have an apartment. That's a no-no. So we need like a place like this, and we're not going to find a place like this. I'm worried that what's going to happen is we're going to have to move all of our stuff back to our old house, which shouldn't be lived in. The bathroom sink doesn't work now, and the shower it's no good. And I mean, there's no stove, there's no good heat, some of the windows are broken, the door upstairs to the balcony is broken. We can't do a winter there. And Shawna has her job. She can't travel an hour and a half to her job. So does that mean she's going to have to get a place of her own and I'm going to have to stay there with the animals? It's hard right now. It's hard not knowing where we're going to go or what we're going to do or what's going to happen or when it's going to happen, because we have from now until the end of November to be out of here. But we're not going to buy wood if we're not staying, because I don't want to lug around any wood. And we don't even know if that stove's safe. It's probably not safe. I'm so worried right now, and I only fell asleep at 7 o'clock this morning, and I only slept for like 4 hours, and I feel like a migraine's coming on. This eye, I'm having trouble seeing out of it, and I have such a headache. I know this stuff happens. This is life. This happens to like a lot of people, and most of the time it turns out okay, but I'm like really worried that we're gonna be homeless, or that Shawna's gonna have to quit her job and we're gonna have to go back home. It's not home. This was home. This felt like home. This really felt like home. And we had so much more plans for this place. It's just stupid. It's like we just had all this planned out, like we were gonna be here for the fall and we were gonna jump in the leaves and have a good time, and we were gonna be here for Halloween. We were gonna decorate this place for Halloween, and when Courtney moved out, I was gonna have that room back to be able to do what I want, and you know, so Shawna and I could have our own space when we want, because for the most part we've been confined to the same room. Not that we can't use the living room, and we do. Shawna comes out here and plays her ukulele for the dogs, and we have this space, but it was nice to have a place where I could lay down and watch movies and she could watch our own movies, because you know, we're individuals and we like to do our own thing. And now Courtney's moving out on the 31st. We have no clue how long we're going to be here for, or how we're going to pay for rent here and then rent to the new place in that first month when we're moving. It's just so much, and it feels like we just did it, because we did. It was only 10 months ago that we moved our whole life here. So I don't know, I don't want to do it. It's not like this place is the most perfect place on earth, but the beauty of it overshadowed any of the bad. And we were willing to deal with almost anything just to be here, because we loved the size of the place. We loved the place. We loved the yard, everything. It was just great, and it felt like home. Shawna feels the same way. This really felt like home. And now to have to rent again for who knows when. I don't know when, but when we do get a place, there will be a lease for sure. We're not moving any of our stuff in until the lease is signed. I will never make this mistake again. I don't know. These are just all my thoughts. I'm filled with all of the emotions. I'm just mostly worried about the animals. We're not going to give them up. Whatever it takes to keep them, we're going to do that, even if that means me having to move back to my old house and freezing all winter and suffering. I don't know. I feel useless because of my anxiety and not working, and I don't have any money to help, so it makes it harder. And we had a good thing going here. I was doing everything at home, and Shawna was happy. We were happy. And it flew by. As quickly as we got here, we're leaving. I'll talk more when I know more, or I have more to say. I don't know. I'm gonna wait until the laundry's done. Well, the washer's done, so I can put it in the dryer, and then I'm gonna go take a shower. I want to stay away from being negative, so I hope nobody sees this as negative. This is just how I'm feeling, and it so happens to be a negative situation, but I'm not dealing with it in a negative way. I'm gonna find a positive way to deal with it. I'm just kind of going through everything I feel and sharing it, because I do want to look back at this someday, and hopefully I can look at it as something positive, like this is the beginning of something really good. It's just it's so hard. Like, we thought that we were gonna have a baby and we were gonna start our family in this house. Maybe that was really naive, but they told us that we could stay here. They told us that we could stay here because they were planning on building a house, but only in 5 years, and they couldn't see any reason why we couldn't stay here for that length of time. So I thought we were going to be here for maybe 2-3 years, and then some stuff happened and we realized that we wanted to leave sooner. So Shawna tried to get a mortgage and we were going to leave if we could, but then she found out that she needs to work on her credit, which could take up to a year. So we thought, okay, well, we'll stay here for 1 more year, and that option was taken away from us. So it's changing all the plans, and maybe that's good. Maybe it's not good to just stay in one place. Maybe it's what we need. I don't know, but right now it just feels hard and hopeless, and hopefully it'll stop feeling that way and something will work out. But I'm gonna go take a nap until the washer's done, and then go shower, take care of myself. Tori is coming here for the weekend. I really wish that we wouldn't have got this news before the weekend so that I could have fully enjoyed it, but I think her being here will be a really good distraction, at least for the weekend. And then next weekend we were supposed to go to spend time with my family, but I don't think we're gonna do it because I think we're gonna save the money. The only reason why we're not canceling the trip to the wildlife park and everything we did last Sunday is because this is the last time that Toria might ever be here in this house now, which is it's mind-blowing to me, but it is what it is. But it's also her last little bit of summer vacation, so we want her to have fun, because she didn't do anything big or like go on vacation or anything like that this summer, so this is for her. And so we're not canceling that, but we might have to cancel everything else, which is super like crappy, but sometimes life throws things your way and you gotta deal with it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll see you guys later.